To study this decades-old program closely, the UN Special Investigator toured Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, and Moncton. And Moncton. And Moncton.
And Moncton.
Hello, citizens of Otterdale, and welcome to tonight's PSA. What is a model citizen?
Well, I'm home.
How was work today, honey?
It was a delight.
Well, families of Otterdale, a model citizen is a providing father. A model citizen is a caring mother, all in service of a scrappy young boy or girl. A model child raised by a model family to become a model citizen of their own. For Otterdale is hardly automatic. You and your families are the gears that keep our engines turning and turning. Let us offer this perfect cycle never.
Engineer's just been tucked in. Splendid! Taking after his father, I hope. Has he
And moving to North America, a bombshell report by the United Nations has slammed Canada for being a breeding ground for modern-day slavery. The report says Canada's temporary foreign worker program favors employers and locks migrants into debt bondage. The Canadian scheme lets companies control the workers' housing, health care, and migration status, preventing them from seeking better-paying jobs in the country. Here's our report with more details about Canada's flawed migrant worker program.
The exploitative practice of slavery has been abolished across the world over the past 2 centuries. Still, the dehumanizing trade exists in one form or the other, ranging from forced labor to debt bondage to sex trafficking. And one of the many countries harboring this extreme form of oppression is Canada. United Nations investigator Tomoya Obokata has published explosive details about the discriminatory practices and deep power imbalances in Canada that favor companies and prevents employees from exercising their rights. Obokata claims Canada's reliance on temporary foreign workers is breeding ground for modern-day slavery. Canada has a program for non-Canadians that brings them to the country to work on a temporary basis. This was initially meant to fill labor shortages, but has grown dramatically over the years. The program is now under fire for suppressing wages and leaving workers vulnerable to abuse. To study this decades-old program closely, the UN Special Investigator toured Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver, and Moncton. He found that employers across Canada heavily rely on workers from Mexico, Guatemala, and Jamaica. These workers mostly work in agriculture, fast food, healthcare, and construction sectors and are often locked in debt bondage. They borrow money to participate in the program and depend on their Canadian wages to repay accrued debts. The program also ties the work permits of these migrants to a specific employer, and that employer controls the workers' housing, healthcare, and migration status. So if the workers are fired, they may be deported back to their home countries. This prevents them from seeking better paying jobs in Canada. Obokata's report further alleges that foreign workers experience a wide range of abuses in the country. This includes physical and emotional abuse, racism, hazardous work conditions, long hours, limited breaks, wage theft, and even sexual harassment. Meanwhile, the Canadian police failed to take these complaints seriously and reports these workers to immigration authorities rather than probing the matter. Canada's Immigration Minister Mark Miller has responded to this UN report, saying the worker program is not fatally flawed but needs to be reformed, although he called the slavery characterization inflammatory. Last year, Canada approved over 230,000 temporary foreign workers into the country, which was more than double that it hired in 2018. And now, with the United Nations recommending a permanent residence to these workers as the only way to avoid the contemporary forms of slavery, Canada has to take action to stop the abuse now.